Ladies and gentlemen, it's Real Late Hot 97, and I got my mans and them in the building. He's no longer YC the Cynic. He is Kemba. Kemba, what up, bruh?
What's good? What's good? Thanks for
Kemba,
having me.
straight out of the BX. Hunts Point. Isn't that a Repug area?
Well,
I say with all due, by the way, I say that with all due respect. You may remember Kemba from such appearances as this one on my old mixtape.
I never once thought I'd be a star. Nice crib, nice car, white bench, white dog. Hearing lines from my songs recited across the pond. Find a broad and a finer broad, make them fly abroad. Who does that? I was just kicking lines in the park by how.
I first heard about you, I guess, from Homeboy Sandman.
Probably.
Is that how you came along?
I think so.
Was Sandman the first person you sort of linked up with, who was kind of on, if you will?
Yeah. I met Sandy when I was like 17, 16. He was doing shows everywhere. So he was doing a show on like this huge rock in the Bronx. It's just like a rock that they used as a stage.
For the record, that is so Homeboy Sandman. I mean, I'm sure other people, great people, have been on it too, but it's very him.
Real Diaz put that show together. And that was like one of the first performances I ever did, and he like killed it. He had this song like called Lightning Bolt that was like silly but funny and dope.
And he's the kind of guy who would appreciate meeting a young kid who's trying to do it.
I think so. He definitely
he'll listen. He'll engage the convo and be like, all right, what's up?
Totally. And so I saw him perform, and I said like some real corny thing like, yo, I'm going to be where you at one day or something. And he was like, all right, yeah. And he told me to come to this open mic that he was doing. He was hosting called All That at New Eurekan. And I did. And that was like him ushering me into the underground scene. Which
he did. And that's how I got to know you and many more. Why was your name YC the Cynic?
I came up, I feel like a lot of people my age came up in a weird time where it was like.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay.
Like right before the internet was the primary way to get on.
Yes.
So I really came up with these like old school like rules. One of them being that your neighborhood named you. So they named me YC at 12 years old, and I kind of just stuck with it. And when I started doing shows and worrying about putting music out, my friends were like, your name can't be YC, nobody will ever find you. So I added the Cynic. I was super young, and I ran with it.
And then at some point you decided, I'm not that cynical.
Yeah.
So this is not a name that makes sense for me to have.
Yeah, I started growing up. I felt like I couldn't have that forever. Like I couldn't make music that I wanted to make under that name. There was always like a preconceived notion, you know what I mean? And I made a lot of mistakes under that name. People got a first impression I wasn't like amazing for music. So there was just a lot of reasons for me to change it.
And now you are Kemba. What's Kemba?
I just wanted to.
You're a big Kemba Walker guy.
No, not really. But
okay.
I just wanted to kind of make something that was, or pick something that didn't have a meaning to it, but you kind of got an idea, you kind of got a feeling when you heard it. So I was just workshopping a lot of names for like a year. That's the one that I like the most.
What does Kemba connote to you?
It sounds real powerful and young,
and black.
And black, yeah,
like
definitely.
An African almost-ish.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I felt like that was something that I wanted to, be known as.
Yeah, and your I'm not going to use the C word, but your music is powerful, and issues of like black identity in America and racism is all in there.
Yeah.
So like
definitely.
The name is important, and having a name that connotes, black powerful mentality is important. And I think you did that with this name.
Thank you. Even though you didn't like it.
It was weird. I said that?
Yeah.
I just said it was weird. It's hard to adjust. I'm getting there.
Once
I saw you and called you Kemba, I started, listen, what's your government name?
Matt.
I mean, your name's Matt.
Yeah.
Your mom's like, hey, Matt. And she doesn't hear Kemba. She's like, Kemba?
I have the most, like, colonized name of all, like, possible.
See? You hear how woke he is? Colonized name.
Know what I mean?
All right, so when we get back, we're going to talk about wokeness. I want to talk about... We're going to go... When we come back, first of all, we're going to have you spit some bars.
Let's do it.
Some flames for Hot 97, the BX. Second of all, we're going to talk about very important issues like Black Lives Matter, And really, actually, I think it's lazy to even say when about Black Lives Matter. That's like just putting a blanket on the world that affects people of color.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about real life issues, Donald Trump being president, all that stuff, and most importantly, we're gonna talk about Walking Dead.
Let's do it.
So I know you have lots of Walking Dead
Let's do
thoughts. Negan talk.
We can talk.
We're gonna get into that next. We continue on Real Late Hot 97. My man Kemba is in the building. All right, I guess let's talk serious talk first before we talk, unimportant fun talk. But like I said earlier, you do deal with a lot of, important issues of the day, if you will. And I will. And you should. So first things first, how are you feeling about this Trump America we are now living in? Or will be living in?
It's scary. It's scary.
What scares you about it the most?
I think more than anything, just like emboldened racists, people taking action that we're afraid to for like the past 8 years or even more. So first, like I'm scared for like the lives of my loved ones. And
just
even
because people are emboldened.
Yeah, that's the immediate fear.
It's weird too when you think about it, because with Trump, the only thing that really, from a black and white standpoint, the thing that you hear the most that affects you, I think, is this whole law and order talk.
Yeah.
Besides that, through all the Trump controversies, there wasn't really ever a black controversy, right? Like, he pandered to black people, right? Yeah. And his tone was overall, like, at the end, he pandered really hard. Like, he spent like the last 2 weeks really trying to like up his percentage, although he wasn't effective. That's what he did. It was coded language, in talking about law and order and all those things. Mm-hmm. But none of his major like racist gaffes, when we talk about Muslims or Mexicans, were about black people.
Yeah.
Yet, for whatever reason, no, sorry, I'm forgetting the biggest one that was before all that, which is the Obama birther movement.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, that was, of course, had racial implications. To me, I saw that more as just jealousy and hatred for Obama. But for whatever reason, it obviously has racial implications as well. It's odd, though, that the black issues have not been at the core of his hatefulness, yet it feels like it's emboldening those kinds of racists the most.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I find really interesting. I guess it lets you know how close to the surface those people were, that they were just waiting for someone to be able to light it in any way.
It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. I don't know. Like, I wasn't following super closely. I just see the effects. I see how scared everybody is. I see how everyone's like. You see all these like posts about like, be safe out there, or like you need a hug or somebody to talk to. Like it feels like something is really brewing. And
what about the women in your life? Did the women in your life specifically, like my wife, for example, and a lot of the women I know were probably the most affected by it. I think after the whole Billy Bush audio of him talking about grabbing women, that there was a different level of fear that seemed to set in over women.
Yeah, I've heard stories about people like assaulting women and saying there's nothing you can do about it now. Just the like fear of their rights being, like women's rights being taken away. Like, it's scary, man. I'm sorry.
What do I just recently read the Ta-Nehisi Coates book, Between the World and Me. And it got me thinking a lot about like just the overall situation of this country, what this country's founded on, and how deep the racism goes in this country, and sort of how difficult it is to even tackle. And you see someone like Homeboy Sandman, who kind of decided that Sandman's general theory on life is sort of like the system is so rigged and so messed up, and the country's roots are so sullied that there's no point even fully participating. Like, he lives his life, he moves around, he makes his music, he doesn't worry about who's president, he touches the people he can touch and speaks to the people he can speak to, and that's sort of it. Now, there's some people who would see that as like irresponsible, you're not voting, or whatever it is. Where do you fall in? Is that also your approach to life, or do you see it slightly differently?
It really depends on the moment. Like, I feel a responsibility to be there for people. When it comes to politics and policies, like, I feel removed from it. I really care about the well-being of people. Like, if we're out there, if we're gonna be out there marching or organizing for our neighborhoods, then I'm with it. When it comes to local politics, I'm learning like that's super important to get involved in and to vote for. But a lot of like the national politics, I'm really not with it.
I saw you a couple months ago. There was supposed to be a Nas concert with Mass Appeal that ended up getting canceled.
Yeah.
And I saw you. It was rained out. We were like hiding from the rain, and then you ended up having a crazy night and ended up hanging out with Nas.
Yeah, dude, it was
what happened?
Ridiculous, man. So we got there and it was pouring. And my friends were like, let's turn back, and I'm like, yo, if they were there, they're probably still there, rained in. And we got there and we saw you. There was no Nas, but we were stuck there.
I'm like Nas at Jay's.
You're close. You're pretty close.
I'm close.
You got the bars down.
As you see.
Yeah. So we were stuck there for like an hour. They wouldn't let us out because it was like a hazard or something. I was texting Fat Sean, who's my boy. That's the reason I was there in the first place. Apparently he got like stranded at a restaurant just because it was raining so hard. And we were like, yo, we'll pick you up like as soon as we get out of here. We pick him up. And he's like, yo, you want to meet the artist? He just said the artist. He didn't say any
The artist formerly known as Nas?
So like we go on like this wild goose chase of like, no, they're not here. No, they're not here. So we like go to this like sushi place, right? And there's like a long hall, dramatic hallway. We walk up the long steps. We see a hostess, and Fash goes like, is Nas here? Like, how do you ask for Nas? Is Nas here? She's like, there's no Nas here. Like, there's nobody. I don't know anybody named Nas. You could look around if you want.
What about Esco?
Yeah, she probably knows.
Maybe she would know.
Esco. That's true.
Nasir.
God's son. Yep. So we start walking. First person I see is Killer Mike. And then shortly after I see Nas. Super small table. There's like 5 people there. Both their ladies. Some of the owners are sweet chick. So us being there and not knowing anybody was disruptive. But they were cool. I didn't say anything at first because I was nervous as hell. After a while, I started talking to Killer Mike, just like saying how much I admired him talking about like black banking and talking about financial literacy, because I feel like people in hip hop don't do that much, and I feel
no, he's doing special stuff.
Yeah, man, I feel kind of let down by hip hop in that way.
And he's really holding the torch and doing something special that's never been done.
Yeah, definitely. So he leaves, and then Nas is like, yo, y'all want to go to a restaurant? I'm like, we at a restaurant, but all right, let's go to another one. and so we go to another one, and there's drinks, and that's when we start talking. We start talking about like Netflix, Peaky Blinders, and like,
okay,
yeah, weird, right? Like New York in like the 40s or 60s, and all the gangsters. He starts talking about Mass Appeal, and he's like, we got the lineup. I think we just need like one more heavy hitter. And he's like, I heard you was nice. And he like points to my friend. And everybody kind of like looks mad confused. And they're like, no, I think you're talking about him. And like in one motion, he like moves his hand and like, I heard you was nice. And then we all just like start laughing. So at the end of the night, they get the check. He asks for like 3 bottles of champagne. And then he goes, y'all want to go to Queensbridge? And
You're joking.
We just lose it, dude. We lost.
Hold on. I want to really slow this down for a second. You're hanging out at Sweet Chick. Is it Sweet Chick?
Well, no, we went from a sushi restaurant to like this hotel. I think it was like Grand Hotel or something.
So you went from a sushi restaurant to a hotel.
Yeah.
And at the hotel, he then at the end, after hanging out, you're getting like, wow, this is weird. We're actually hanging out with Nas. Okay, this is strange. Then it goes to, yo, do you want to go to here's some champagne. Y'all want to go to Queensbridge?
Crazy.
This is like out of a kid rapper dream movie.
Ridiculous.
And so you did?
Oh, of course.
So you're like, yeah, we'll go to Queensbridge?
Yeah. As soon as he said that, I told my boy to get the car. What's funny is he said that and he left. He didn't wait for it. It was like,
you knew. You knew that could happen.
Oh yeah.
We went like, we're following, let's go.
We went from a restaurant with 5 people to like a restaurant with like, I guess 20 people that he worked with. And he said that. And he left. And so as soon as he pulled off, my boy came with the car. I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. And there were people there that were like, yo, is there any room in the car?
Nope,
like,
bye.
Exactly. So we followed him. We went to, I guess, one of his boys' shops in Queens, and they just played mad like Biggie, and he rapped every word. It was crazy. Like, he played
One of
mad
his shops, you said?
Yeah, I guess his boy had a shop. Like,
clothing
has a shop. I don't know. It might have been a barber shop or clothing shop, something.
And y'all just hung out in there, drinking champagne.
For hours.
Listening to hip-hop.
Listening to hip-hop.
Right
He's
in
rapping,
Queensbridge.
He's rapping every word, yeah. Like a block away from
Like a
where
block
he
from
grew up.
Queensbridge.
Crazy.
And he still just does that randomly.
I guess so. Like, people come out. When he comes to Queensbridge at 3 a.m, people come out.
And people started showing up at the barbershop.
Yeah, all his old friends. It was crazy.
And people just started coming through and hanging out. It was cool.
It was
no
cool.
one's stressing. Like, it's...
Like, at one point, we got locked out. Like, my friend locked us out of that shop. And
so they do lock the doors. The door is locked. You got to get in. You got to knock on the door. You got to know someone. You got to be invited
No,
in
the
somewhere.
doors were open. The doors were open.
Okay.
If you knew about it, it was 3 a.m. There wasn't that many people outside.
Right.
If you knew about it, you could come in. It was crazy. Crazy thing is, next day, I went to the premiere of The Land with Fash, and Nas was speaking, and the director was speaking, and that's when I realized that the person that we left and said there was no room in the car was the director of The Land. We were just like, forget you. We gotta go.
Wow. Yo, okay, that is an amazing story. Unfortunately, there's bad news here. The story was so good, we now have to skip past Walking Dead talk. So we'll save that for next time.
That's cool.
What we need to do instead is these bar talks.
Let's do it.
Can you do that?
Let's do it.
Real Late Hot 97, my name is Peter Rosenberg. Kemba is here. BX, stand up.
Yeah. Another brother died. All you did was make a shirt of it. I was there in body and spirit. These is Willie Lynch lyrics. Niggas hang on every word of it. I'ma trim the fat like a Foreman grill. I give you the word like a foreign film. Politicians been a problem since the birth of it. I don't fit into your vision, every different stance. Vincent Van Gogh, cause the left never heard of it. Niggas act like I actually like that conscious shit. No, my spirit been dead. All my albums is posthumous. I see motherfuckers pay a grip for an Oculus Rift and still can't see it through my fucking eyes and shit. I done beat the odds and shit. Niggas from my hood don't see the prize. All our moms believe in God and all they sons is demonized. I thought going to school was selfish cause of how expensive college is. Now I do a college and get paid a fucking scholarship. It's crazy. Every chick I fuck with got a fan base. All my business partners out here fucking up our handshakes. I don't beg for airplay. Cashier kicked the side of in and out. None of my niggas ever got a fair shake. I've been praying. What do I tell niggas that never made it? I got this city on my back. Y'all niggas think I'm writing raps. This is a fucking act of desperation. So I wouldn't suggest you test my patience, knowing damn well you'll never win. Hoods filled with mothers, sisters, daughters getting strong enough to pick up 4 wheels off of pure will and adrenaline. The hood's filled with niggas that'll hit them up like Blue Cantrell, then forget it, knowing damn well they gon' sin again. Every other corner here's candlelit. Cops come, you stiffen like a mannequin. We always find a way. We don't wait for no damn petition to handle it. My niggas can't get no tickets to Hamilton. You really losing touch out here. We warming up, but my heart cold to the touch out here. All my idols looking like food. It's getting rough out here. Like I love what you do, but I'm not missing lunch out here. All my well wishes for niggas that fell victim and sit in a cell. Coppers that rigged up the jails. Fuck you, I see you in hell. Fuck a Tom Ford. All I see is flag flying like Pop Warner. Jesse Jackson making money from morning like Tom Joyner. Another brother died. All you did was say some words for it. I was there in body and spirit. These is Willie Lynch lyrics. Niggas hang on every word of it. I see following niggas is sure contagious. At first you was mocking Pusher, now all y'all braided. Y'all niggas been going through really awkward phases. Y'all niggas been putting up with some odd behaviors. So I'll just say this. I run at a different speed, that's cardio. I step to a different beat, that's choreo. You never been this intrigued by audio. This is audio visual art. Shit that'll impart wisdom and start ridding you phonies. You're fucking corny. Homie's the one and only. Chicken and rigatoni. RZA and Pretty Tony. Living like living legends. You settle for telling stories. I'm flipping rap on his axis. You yapping the Axel Foley. Fucking. All right. That's it.
That was the end. Is that the end?
That was the end.
You didn't have more, did you?
No, I didn't have more.
Oh. His name's Kemba. What's your album called?
Niggas.
Negus.
Yeah.
First I thought it was a word I couldn't say.
Nah.
Kemba, Negus is out now. Wow. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
BX!